Equity is a 2016 movie. For me, it's really the female version of Wall Street. And I used to teach Wall Street for years and years with this course. Now, the 1987 Charlie Sheen version, not the 2010s Shia LaBeouf version of Wall Street. But many of the same themes of insider trading, pressure to perform, duplicity, conflicts of interest that we saw in the movie Wall Street are demonstrated in equity. And so when I saw the movie last year, I thought immediately I wanted to replace Wall Street with equity. And one of the reasons, not only is it a good movie, but you can tell that I don't have a lot of female dominated protagonist movies. And unfortunately, for the themes I'm trying to get across, I can't find the movies that I would like to show. We'll see North Country at the end of the course, which will be a very difficult movie dealing with sexual harassment. And that's the second female-dominated movie that we'll have. But in Equity, we have Anna Gunn, who, if you remember, if you ever watched Breaking Bad, she played Bryan Cranston's wife. She plays the role of Naomi Bishop, and she's an investment banker at a firm called Remsen. And in one of the opening scenes, she's talking to a group of young alumni from her university, and she talked about money. And here's what she says: "It's okay to do it for ourselves, for how it makes us feel. Secure, yeah. Powerful, absolutely. I'm so glad it's finally acceptable to women to talk about ambition openly. But don't let money be a dirty word. We can like that too." Now, one of her other alums at that meeting went to school with her, and that's played by Alicia Reiner, who was Fig in Orange is the New Black. If you ever watched Orange is the New Black, she was the former warden of the prison. So she plays Samantha, who is an assistant U.S. attorney, or an AUSA. And she's moved from the drug division to the white-collar crime division, and she's trying to bag who she thinks is a white-collar criminal involved in insider trading, who is named Michael Connor, and that's played by James Purefoy. If you ever watched the TV show The Following by Kevin Bacon, Purefoy plays the cult leader that Bacon is always trying to go after. So Connor is a trader, and he's always kind of weasel his way to get insider tips, to get an edge, is what they talk about. How do I get the edge to make sure that I'm making money and my clients are making money? And he's trying to pressure Naomi because they're dating and they're on different sides of a transaction. Naomi is an investment banker who's putting up deals and trying to get IPOs, and Purefoy, the Connor character, is trying to get the information to trade on that with people like Craig Bierko, who is this kind of nefarious head of a company called Titanite that's trying to make money by getting inside information. So we see them trying to maintain a relationship, and Naomi is really pretty good about maintaining a barrier of not getting the information from her to him about how these IPOs, these initial public offerings, are going. And she's working really hard on one for a company called Cachet. And Cachet is what they call it, a privacy company that deals with the social network. And it looks good. They've got the stock price where they want it to be. They're ready to launch, and something happens. We have information from a disgruntled employee who's saying, well, this privacy company is not so impregnable as you would think. There are hackers out there who can't get at the information. And the stock price plummets from basically what they thought of $34, $35, $36 per share to in the low 20s. And Craig Bierko, this head of Titanite, can basically gobble up the company at a low price. There'll be a retraction after a few days. Stock prices will rise. They'll make a fortune. The way they get this information is from an assistant to Naomi. And that's the Aaron Manning character played by Sarah Megan Thomas. And actually, Sarah Megan Thomas co-wrote the movie. And she's very ambitious, just like Naomi's very ambitious, trying to get a promotion, but it wasn't her year. And that's the same line that the head of Remsen used on Naomi when she's talking about, am I going to get your position when you retire? Sorry, Naomi, it's just not your year. So, in a kind of duplicitous way, Sarah Megan Thomas takes this information she knows about questions about cachet, and she lets Connor overhear a conversation on speakerphone that she's having with Naomi. And it's a little bit complicated, but you'll see it when you watch the movie. Connor gets the information, basically gives it to the Craig Berko character, and a friend of his who is a tech blogger who basically blasts this company the night before the IPO is going to go off. Stock price plummets. They can't find anybody to buy. And it's very unfortunate for Cachet. They lose a lot. They don't make the money they were hoping to make. And Naomi is basically shown the door. And who steps in her place? Aaron Manning, the Sarah Megan Thomas character. What we also see is that Alicia Reiner couldn't bag the elephant, couldn't get Michael Connor, but she was made an offer from a headhunter. So she was now entertaining headhunter offers to basically triple her salary. And the last scene basically brings us back full circle to the original, one of the opening scenes, where she talks about how money is okay. It's okay. It's not a dirty word. It's fine for us to be talking about that. With that, I hope you enjoy the movie Equity, and I'm looking forward to your responses on the discussion board.